Starting with today, we are learning... Okay, so we're talking about vector addition algebraically. Sounds fancy, right? But what if I told you it's just breaking stuff into parts, like when I take a sandwich apart because Lois told me to share the bacon? Why do we split it up? Because it makes everything easier. So how do you split a vector into parts? Say you have a vector pointing at an angle. Why not ask, what are the horizontal and vertical contributions of that vector? If you know the magnitude of the angle, you can ask yourself how much is going right and how much is going up. Do you use cosine for one and sine for the other, and which is which? Think about standing on a slanted slide. How much of your weight pulls you down the slide? That's the component, and how much pushes into the slide. Now imagine two people push your car. One pushes east, the other pushes northeast. How do we find the total push? Isn't it just add them? But wait, if they're not in the same direction, how do you add them? What if you convert each push into x and y parts first? Doesn't that make the math straightforward? So you do rx equals sine r1x plus r2x, ry equals sine r1y plus r2y. Then you rebuild the resultant. R equals sine s quadrat rx squared plus ry squared. Why does the Pythagorean theorem keep showing up in physics? Is it secretly in everything? Let's try a quick example in my head so my brain doesn't melt. Push of 5 units at 30 degrees and 7 units at 120 degrees. What are the x components? 5 cos 30 plus 7 cos 120. The y components? 5 sin 30 plus 7 sin 120. What happens if Rx ends up negative? Does that mean the total goes left? How would you explain that to Lois without getting yelled at? If you're doing algebraic vector addition, why is it helpful to keep track of unit vectors I and j? Wouldn't writing r equals sine rxi plus yj make things clearer when solving systems or switching to calculus later? How might this change your approach to motion problems, like projectile paths or circular motion? So after all that, what questions do you have that make you go, huh, I never thought of it that way? How could you use component-wise thinking to simplify something complicated in your daily life, like planning a route on a map or carrying groceries upstairs?